Welcome to our history exploration journey. Today, we will travel through time and space to explore the beginning and origin of the history of Chinese civilization. And together, we will unveil how the early human beings lived in harmony with nature and created a brilliant civilization. Follow me to enjoy the initial glory and greatness of Chinese civilization. Some scholars believe that in ancient legends, the origin of Chinese civilization can be traced back to three great ancestors.
These three are Fuxi, Nüwa, and Shennong. Fuxi created the 8 Trigrams, observing all things in heaven and earth and revealing the mysteries of heaven and earth. Nüwa created man and gave birth to the miracle of life. Shennong taught farming, initiating the splendor of agriculture and medicine. These three ancestors were not only mythological heroes, but also founders of Chinese culture. Their wisdom and courage opened a grand chapter in Chinese history. Next, follow the camera and let's learn about Fuxi, the oldest ancestral figure of Chinese civilization. Fuxi, the legendary sage of ancient China, inspired the beginning of Chinese civilization with his endless wisdom. Fuxi loved to observe nature. During the day, he scrutinized the rules of operation of mountains, rivers, birds, and beasts. At night, he looked up to the sky to see the changes in the displacement of the stars. The sun, the moon, the mountains, and the rivers gave him different inspirations, so he found universal rules in the yin and yang. Fuxi's observation and thinking did not stop. After many days and nights of observation and painstaking thought, he finally drew 8 figures, which is called the 8 Trigrams. The 8 diagrams include Qian, Kuan, Zhen, Sun, Kan, Li, Zhen, and Dui. Each figure corresponds to an attribute of nature: heaven, earth, thunder, wind, water, fire, mountains, zephyrs. These 8 figures not only represent the attributes of nature, but also symbolize the structure of the human family. Fuxi's wisdom lies not only in drawing the 8 trigrams, but also in his application of these natural laws to real life. He taught Nüwa's descendants how to survive on their own and how to utilize the laws of nature to solve life's challenges. To get food, Fuxi made bows and arrows and taught people the skill of hunting. In order to catch fish in the water, he imitated the spider's web and made fishing nets, teaching people the skills of fishing. Seeing that it was difficult to digest the food, he taught people to use fire to cook the food. Seeing that people were living in the open, he taught people to use wood to build houses. Through Fuxi's wisdom, the principles of nature were understood, and these principles were used to learn survival skills. In a sense, Fuxi is honored as the cultural progenitor of the Chinese people. Posterity has attributed nearly all survival skills to Fuxi. On this burgeoning land, the relationship between gods and humans grew increasingly close. He guided the enlightenment and growth of the Chinese people through the long, dark nights. Through today's exploration, we not only comprehend Fuxi's wisdom and contributions but also feel the profound essence of Chinese culture. In the yin-yang system, the moon symbolizes femininity. Therefore, the first female figure in Chinese culture is Nüwa. Her name first appeared in the I Ching, classic of mountains and seas. In the consciousness of the Chinese people, Nüwa is not just a mythological figure but also the creator and protector of life. Nüwa is usually depicted with a human head and a snake's body. Why is she represented with the imagery of a snake? The snake symbolizes not only powerful fertility but also, through its shedding of skin, a connection to death and rebirth, endowing it with divinity. Hence, Nüwa is seen as a symbol of immortality and reproduction. According to legend, one day during the blossoming spring, Nüwa squatted by the river and saw her reflection in the water. She suddenly realized her inner loneliness. Thus, she molded a clay figure in her own image and breathed life into it. The clay figure came to life, opened its eyes, began to breathe, and not only could move but also walk and run. This was the first human to appear on the land of China. Unlike creation myths in other cultures, the task of creating humans in Chinese mythology was accomplished by a female figure alone. In Greek mythology, it was a male god who created humans from water and earth. In the Bible, Adam and Eve together conceived humanity. In China, Nüwa independently undertook this sacred mission. This is not only a celebration of the female capacity for childbirth but also a tribute to the earth. To ensure that there were more people on the earth, Nüwa taught them how to unite and reproduce, creating new life. This was the first skill that humans learned from Nüwa, and it became our instinct. Nüwa and Fuxi, both depicted with human heads and snake bodies, frequently appear in ancient paintings, illustrating their intertwined forms. This imagery is strikingly similar to the double helix structure of DNA discovered by modern science. Scientists have found that the double helix structure of DNA serves as the hereditary template for the transmission of life. The figures of Fuxi and Nüwa in Chinese mythology symbolize this genetic code. Fuxi and Nüwa are regarded as the founders of the genetic legacy of the Chinese people. Their story is not merely a myth but represents the origin and transmission of life. Fuxi's role is akin to that of a father, representing masculinity and strength, whereas Nüwa is like a mother, symbolizing gentleness and creativity. In the Chinese perception, Fuxi and Nüwa together form the origin of all things in the universe. Their union not only created humanity but also laid the foundation for Chinese culture. From that point on, the Chinese people officially stepped onto the vast stage of the world, endowed with an eternal and loving mother. This mother figure provides us not only with life but also with nurture and protection. We project the brilliance of motherhood onto Nüwa because we believe that, in our early years, we experienced a strong sense of security, wisdom, courage, and selfless love. Nüwa is not just a mythological figure in Chinese culture. She is the eternal mother in the heart of every Chinese person. Her story inspires us to face life's challenges bravely, to cherish and respect our land and life. Nüwa is not only the creator of humanity but also, with her boundless wisdom and courage, saved the earth and rescued humankind. According to ancient legend, during a time when people were flourishing and giving birth to new generations, one day, the sky suddenly cracked open, creating a massive fissure. Floodwaters surged, and flames raged. Faced with this great catastrophe, Nüwa stepped forward, saving humanity from despair. She traveled across mountains, collecting 5 colored stones. These stones, blue, yellow, red, white, and black, symbolized the 5 basic elements of nature. Nüwa brought these 5 colored stones back and worked tirelessly, day and night, to refine them. She eventually melted the stones into liquid. Then, Nüwa used the molten stones to patch up the fissure in the sky. This process not only consumed enormous physical strength and energy but was also fraught with danger. Yet, Nüwa never wavered and persisted with unwavering determination and fearless resolve in every action. Finally, after relentless effort, Nüwa successfully repaired the sky, restoring order to heaven and earth. The story of Nüwa mending the sky is not only a significant chapter in Chinese mythology but also a symbol of the spirit of the Chinese nation. It teaches us that no matter how great the difficulties and challenges we face, as long as we possess firm belief and fearless courage, we can overcome everything and welcome light and hope once again. Shennong, also known as Yan Emperor and one of the 3 sovereigns, is a prominent figure in ancient Chinese mythology. He was the leader of the Shennong clan in prehistoric times, and legend has it that he was a direct descendant of Fuxi and Nüwa. Shennong's contributions were not limited to teaching people how to cultivate crops. He also personally tasted numerous herbs, discovering many valuable medicinal plants. He compiled his findings into the Shennong Ben Chao Jing, Shennong's classic of Materia Medica, which laid a significant foundation for both agriculture and medicine in China. Shennong lived in an era when agriculture was not yet developed. According to legend, his abdomen was transparent, allowing him to discern which foods were safe to eat and which were not. During this time, people primarily relied on hunting and gathering for sustenance, but the food they obtained was insufficient, and life was extremely difficult. To change this situation, Shennong personally tasted various foods and ultimately discovered the 5 grains: hemp, millet, rice, wheat, and beans. First, Shennong observed the changes in nature and studied the growth patterns of plants. He found that different plants had different growth cycles and conditions, so he taught people to plant crops according to the seasons. In spring, he guided people to sow seeds in the melting snow. In summer, he taught them how to weed and irrigate. In autumn, he demonstrated how to harvest and store grain. Winter was used for repairing tools and planning for the next year's farming. Furthermore, Shennong personally created some simple farming tools, such as wooden plows, hoes, and rakes. He explained that these tools could greatly improve farming efficiency. In practice, Shennong also discovered the importance of fertilization. He told people that they could use animal manure, dead grass, and fallen leaves to enrich the soil and enhance its fertility, which made the crops grow more vigorously. Shennong uncovered the secrets of the land's ability to produce food and spread his farming methods widely, teaching people in different regions to plant various seeds. This knowledge transformed the land into a bustling, agricultural civilization, marking the beginning of a new era of agricultural prosperity. However, as people consumed grains and cereals, illnesses were inevitable. Shennong, unable to bear seeing people suffer from diseases, was determined to find herbs that could cure these ailments and lead everyone out of their predicament. Thus, Shennong courageously embarked on an exploration journey, venturing into various mountains and rivers. This was a perilous path, but every plant he encountered might hold the key to curing diseases. Faced with dense forests, fierce beasts, and poisonous plants, Shennong used his wisdom to protect himself. He understood the laws of nature and avoided dangers with his strong belief and fearless spirit. Shennong traveled across countless mountains and rivers, collecting a wide variety of plants. He then tasted them one by one, meticulously recording their medicinal effects and toxicities. Upon returning to his tribe, Shennong categorized and organized the plants he had painstakingly collected, teaching his people how to use these herbs to treat diseases. His efforts brought hope and health to the tribe. On this land, Shennong not only experimented with known crops but also boldly attempted to cultivate unknown plants, testing their medicinal properties on himself. Unfortunately, one day, while trying a newly discovered plant, Shennong accidentally ingested the highly toxic Duan Chang Chao, Gelsemium. He experienced excruciating pain, for which there was no remedy, and ultimately left this world. Shennong's passing plunged the entire tribe into profound sorrow. Despite Shennong's untimely death, his spirit and wisdom remained in people's hearts forever. The tribe's descendants carefully compiled Shennong's records of the medicinal properties of various herbs into a comprehensive volume, eventually forming China's first medical book, the Shennong Ben Chao Jing, Shennong's Classic of Materia Medica. This book not only documented Shennong's in-depth research on the medicinal properties of plants but also laid the foundation for the future of traditional Chinese medicine.